Alright, hello everyone. How are you all doing? How's it going? How's your week going? It's good to see all people. It's kinda weird as well. 3 minutes in, we have 16 people, that's crazy. Yeah, good to see you all. I hope my mic and everything else is working just right, so you tell me about it. And we have lots of people talking it up, cool. Wow, okay, mic is good, audio is good, awesome. Yeah, we just sort of, every time before I stream, there's a music playing, and I'm just sort of chilling and just like trying to kind of meditate and hype myself up. So just like I clear my space, there's nothing behind, like I leave my world behind, and I'm here, clean slate, just for you, to bring you my value, if anything. So yeah, like I just like when I help you out on anything I can, answering questions, talking about Ubis, anything you're interested in. I'm here for you people. So, Maria, good to see you here. We have John, Seth, Alexander, Cosmos, Waves, Didi, J1, Timeless, Reese, Starseed, Aya, Jwatt. Holy crap, there's a lot of you people here. I was good to see you all. Didi's asking, is it only streamed here on YouTube or is it also streamed elsewhere? And it's pretty much like right now on YouTube, but I have Streamlabs so I can set it up where I can stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, or even like do other platforms. So in the future I might stream at certain places at the same time. But I would like to do more research because I'm not sure, like if I stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, am I gonna have different chats? And for YouTube, I have my own audience that are sort of like-minded people. If I tune in on Twitch, there's going to be like tons of random people who might not understand like what the hell is going on, what is she talking about, and stuff like that. So I would like to set it up where I know what kind of chats am I going to see and who am I going to engage with, I should say. So yeah, we'll see. For now, just YouTube, but I can also set up other platforms. So if you have any recommendations where you would like to see me, just let me know. I might set it up. Yeah, whoa. People from UK, from Russia, from elsewhere. Natasha, hi, good to see you here. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna slowly jump into these topics and see what you people are interested in, and we're gonna go from there. So yeah, let's check it out. John was saying, got really good news. I completed my challenge that I made last Saturday on air by fully implementing contract revocation and George L. President tools. And the other day I successfully removed 21 agreements related to my item. I felt a massive release and so good thinking about in my own universe list. Very empowering. Thank you so much for all your help. I'm really glad, John, that you did it. I'm really glad that you're like noticing the changes and it's working for you. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of like practice, you know, like to set up your items, to find the agreements, to do the revocations and stuff like that. But if you're getting the wins from it, I'm really happy for you. It's like we have tons of issues and problems in life, and we have tons of things that are making our sort of like life harder. And you're just one out of tons of issues. And if you're just noticing wins after you're like addressing one thing, you might have addressed more as well. Like I don't know about it, but I'm really glad that you're getting something out of it. I love asking, you did your birth chart, right? So do you care to tell us your sun, moon, and ascendant signs? Uh, I did my birth chart. I looked up at just the general information, but I haven't gone into the details. Like, I could pull it up right now to show you the basics and stuff, but I have not really gone deep into it. So I could not tell you the details because I don't know it myself. Like, I wasn't really looking at it. Cosmos United is saying, hi Akvile, I'm super upset about what they're doing to Trump. Like, it really got to me. I hear ya. There's a lot of people, I'm not sure how much should I go into the subject, because I made a few videos, and it's like pouring gasoline and just like making a bigger fire and aggravating people. Because a lot of people are, let's say, into spirituality, and like they know me because I make videos about getting out of body, about like spiritual stuff, about entities and stuff. And here it is, after 200 videos, I made a video on politics. It's not my first time, but you know, like it's been a while. And so I bring it up and boom, like a lot of people don't like that. And I'm getting like a few of these like haters and people that are like really pushy, which is okay. I respect other people's opinion. It can be completely opposite of what I think and believe, and that's okay with me. But some people, like how with religious figures, it's like you might not believe in God, and you're like, yeah, just believe in what you want. But then there's a group which like, no. The way I believe in God is this, and you have to believe the same thing. And they start pushing their beliefs on you and stuff. So like, I feel like some people are doing the same things with politics, zero reality and stuff. But like, I know a lot of people in my circle, who are like, for example, are supporting Trump and stuff, and just because of what's going on, they're feeling really upset. And that's the thing. It's like, whatever's going on right now, there's a lot of details and we can go into all the info and stuff. But the thing is, it's like, divide and conquer. Trying to divide people, trying to create chaos, trying to make us feel and hate each other. Like just like this whole massive confusion and chaos. And there's a lot of things going on. But eventually it gets to you. Eventually it gets to like, damn, like I want this kind of reality, have my own beliefs about what should happen, and you have your own thoughts on this whole subject, and it goes sort of completely against your own beliefs, and it hits you. It hits you with like what's going on and stuff. So it doesn't matter who you support, but it matters how you feel about it all. And the worst part is that like that stuff can affect you. And make you feel like, like, damn, like I don't want to live anymore, like, you really go down to depression. And that's like why I want to bring my content to the place where, like, it doesn't matter what the government does, it doesn't matter what other people are saying and stuff, as long as you're taking care of yourself. For me, it's easier to talk. I'm not in America, and I don't have the stuff going on in my country as much as it is there. And of course, there's some corruption quite a lot in Lithuania and stuff, but I'm living in a way where I'm doing better. And I see what's going on, and like, yeah, okay, they're pushing vaccines, they're pushing other things, they're pushing that and that and that, but I am sort of in control of how I feel daily, and that is good for me. But for people, it's really easy to get drawn into this whole chaos, into this whole drama, just following it, trying to expose the truth, trying to expose what's going on, and then be sucked by it and actually suffer from a lot of things that are going on. So like, I don't know, like, I just like, if I can, I would like to bring anything into your world that sort of gives you more power, where you're feeling better, where you're sort of like, okay, it doesn't matter what's going on out there, I am in control of how I'm feeling, and so like others can't affect that much. So like, I know, Cosmos, like in the stream, I'll try to do my best to bring you some sort of value and stuff, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, like I'll keep on going and looking up what people are saying. Steph is asking how am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Like, actually, like, I've been really productive these days. I've been keeping my sort of like routine. So a lot of people, they're like looking up at my content. I'm posting my routine on Discord and like what I'm doing throughout the day. Like they're wondering like, what's your routine, like, Villa? What do you do throughout the day and stuff like that? So like, I'm sort of like keeping the notes, not absolutely everything, but sort of the main stuff that I should have point attention to. And like, I've started like working out again, and I'm much more than I used to, because like, lots of work, and I just sort of like pushed aside the workouts, because like I didn't give it priority, and now it's like, hey, I don't like the way I look, because I gained some weight and stuff, and like there's other issues, like, for example, like, hey, I know where I was a few months ago, or like where I was like half a year ago or a year ago, and I really like that, and now it's like, damn, I want more out of it. I want more out of myself, and like I don't know how many of you watch the same channel as I do, but for example, like, you might know Markiplier and Ethan. They're basically two guys. Then like, they have their own channels. Markiplier and Cranky. I don't know Ethan's channel, Cranky Gameplays or something. But anyway, like, they created this channel together, Unus Annus, and like it means like 1 year. And basically for a whole year, they're uploading like a video a day, doing absolutely anything they want to do. Their second video on their channel is cooking food with dildos on YouTube. YouTube is not banning them and shit like that, and they're doing everything kind of like a lot of this, like, challenging the establishment with what they're doing, and like just like having their best. But watching them is like they have all kinds of shit on their channel. Some of them is like, it's interesting because they, like with workouts and other things, like, depends on what you're listening to. But like I watch it from time to time. Like, I haven't watched all of their videos, like maybe like 20, 30 or so. And what I'm getting from this is like how much effort they put into making the content and trying to either entertain people or bring value. But the thing is, like, after the year of gaining tons of subscribers and stuff like that, they're gonna delete the channel. Like, all the content will be gone in a few days, and it's crazy, but it's cool. And seeing how much they're working to entertain people, how much they're trying to give value to others, is like, like, damn, I want to have more out of myself. I know that I can do much more, and so, like, just wanting to bring more value of myself into others and stuff, like, I sort of, like, okay, I have to change things up, and, like, I want to push myself into working out and different things. So now, like, even today, I, like, what did I do? It's like, I was keeping notes and stuff. So, for example, like, 300 sit-ups, 200 weight lifts, 100 squats, 100 tippy toes, eye yoga, shit like that. And I'm just, like, just trying to, like, sort of, like, daily, like, last week I was on my period, like, I just finished after the day, yeah, I'm freedom. So, for example, like, on my period, I know that, like, I have to slow down because I can't do my exercise or everything, like, the way I want, because there's gonna be some issues and stuff, difficulties, and, like, I pretty much, like, take it easy, because, but right now, like, today, like, I was, like, pushing my limits and, like, working out to the point where I'm almost gonna pass out and I'm feeling sick like shit, like, oh, fuck, I have to stop down and, like, breathe and then work out again, take cold shower, like, press Wim Hof and stuff. But the thing is, like, I'm challenging myself and just trying to bring more out of myself, and then, like, be in control of how I feel, in control of how my body's doing and stuff like that. So, like, pushing myself into different limits is far from going there, but, like, I just, like, want to make myself feel better and, like, work on my body and stuff, so that, like, when I'm doing good, being in a great place, maybe I can bring you the same value. So enough about me. Let's look into what your people are saying and, like, what I can do for you. Lee Matlaw is saying, I'd really like to get your take on the Trump situation. So the way I see the whole thing with Trump and Biden, it's like, it is two different factions with their own ideas with what's gonna go in the world and stuff. Like, I don't necessarily agree that they're, like, two sides of the same coin. They're related. They're sort of, like, of the same agenda, similar agenda. But the thing is, like, when we talk about elite and who runs the world, we sort of think about the deep state and stuff, and it's just, like, labeled for one massive group. But there's, like, tons of these factions who are interested in human beings, who are interested in controlling us, using us in different ways, and, like, having their own world when they want. And this world, if it wasn't for them, would be an awesome one. But when we have the, like, all these groups interested in us and trying to take control and stuff, then they really can do a lot of damage and stuff. So the way I see, like, the whole Biden and Trump situation is just, like, two people who are being used by bigger groups, who are being used by bigger groups, who are being used by bigger groups, and basically we see just the very surface of the iceberg. We see the basics and we assume that we know stuff, that we know what's going on and stuff. I'm not seeing Trump as a savior, but with what he's doing, he is exposing the dark side, he is exposing the human traffickers, he is exposing the pedophilia and stuff. And whilst, like, JFK was one of those, like, people, like, everyone's like, yeah, JFK is awesome and stuff, but I do see, like, Trump is doing some good stuff. He's definitely doing some good stuff. He might not be the best. Oh, he's far from being Satan, being the savior. He has connections with Epstein and he's of buddies and stuff, and he has some interactions with underage girls and stuff, like being raped and stuff. There's a lot going on. But the thing, like, with the Trump, like, there's we could talk about it a lot. I'm seeing it, like, there's, like, lots of groups controlling people and like having puppets and trying to do their own agenda on humanity. And Trump with the whole white dragon stuff, it's one of them. And they might be a bit better than the dark side with the whole shit and stuff, but they're not the best. They're far from, like, helping humanity. So, like, I'm not seeing him as the savior or anything else. But I think, like, he is exposing some of the dark stuff, and which is good. We should pay attention to what's going on and stuff. And again, they're giving us stuff that they want us to see. We're far from knowing the truth, the real stuff, and all, like, all these things they're saying that what's going on and all. It's far from being what we really know about this stuff. So, That being said, John West is asking on the in your own universe list of George L. Preston stuff, did you put very specific things on it or in general? I have been doing both. Yeah, it really depends on what kind of item I would be addressing, John. If it's really something I know that is affecting my life and I'm feeling a lot of it, like damn, it's actually sort of like has a lot of like issues and or like cause a lot of issues, then I'm gonna slow down, take my time, and think like, what would like prefer, and like create my perfect reality, kind of like. So like then I would like pay a lot of like attention, and like pay attention to the details of what I'm saying and how I'm saying things. But at the same time, it's totally okay if you do sort of in general, because what's your expectation? Like, what exactly do you want from your world? And you can like daily, like in your own universe, create a better world, sort of in general. But at the same time, you can pay a lot of attention to how it goes, to all the details. So I would say like doing both is totally cool. It's really good. Whichever way you feel, like sometimes some items will like ring more and like ring the bell and like feel like you're like, hey, you have to talk it out, you have more to say, and just like having those details and what your universe is like is really good. But general is also good. So like either way, like I'm thinking like like the whole thing with like choosing one or the other, whichever way you prefer. Um, Starseed is asking, is there a way I can have no dreams and just sleep and now see the black? Because I don't want to be pulled into these trap realms every night. I'm scared to be messed with when I need my body to rest. Can't take it anymore and stuff. Okay, so Starseed, like there's a few things. Just because you don't see anything doesn't mean that nothing is going on. That's a lot of people getting confused on this stuff. Just because people wake up in the morning and they sort of like, oh, it was pitch black and I saw nothing and I don't remember my dreams, they will still have the same crappy feeling state. They will still be messed with at night. So for you to want to not see anything, to have it complete black and just turn it all off, it's totally possible. But it does not mean that you will not be messed with. It does not mean that you'll be safe and you're not gonna experience any of it. Because for example, they can turn off your visuals, and you will not see anything, but they can still take your astral body and mess with it. And that's the hard truth. For a lot of people, they wake up in the morning and they feel exhausted. They feel really drained. They feel crappy, and it's like I just want to die. I don't want to be here anymore. Like, so people have various thoughts when they wake up, and depending on how you feel, you can sort of like react into, have you been messed with or no? And a lot of times, waking up with this confusion, loss of memory, and other things, it's happening out there, and you don't know what. So a lot of people are actually able to get out of body or have astral projection, and have tons of experiences out there, but they have no visuals and no memory. So like the memory sort of like either wiped or like they pushes back in the body and stuff. And while we might experience a lot, they just like push this image of like, oh, you see nothing. And so you wake up in the morning, saw nothing, pitch black, don't remember anything. I did not get out of body or not have this experience. That's not how it works. It's like there's a lot to it. So you can totally turn it off. And for me, natural ways was is like if you are in control of your abilities, if you know how you work and what can you do for yourself and stuff, just like have an intention to turn it all off, to not see anything, as if that's what you want. But the bigger thing would be, okay, I'm getting messed with at night, and I know what's going on, and I really don't like seeing that stuff. I'm getting scared and stuff. What can I do? So that would be the thing of handling the issue. As like you have servitors, so you might ask them to help you out. Imagining like your anchor, for example, default state where you wake up in the astral, where you teleport, for example, you can make it a whole different place. That would help you out as well. Different shieldings, well, you know all about it, all about all the shieldings and stuff. So it really depends on what you want, mostly. It really depends, because a lot of people, like Andromeda is saying, like he has a great memory of getting out of body every time, and that's great. That's the way it should be. But a lot of people get out of body, don't remember stuff. They don't remember seeing anything and stuff. Like they wake up like, oh, no dreams, no anything. So if you're not seeing stuff, it does not mean that the problem is not there. You know, like how the picture of monkey, if I can't see stuff, if I can't hear it, if I like can't sense it and stuff, it's not there. It's basically trying to ignore the issue. So it's better to deal with it somehow. and I still haven't gotten to your other messages, so I'm not sure if you wrote anything regarding on that or not. PA saying postponing studying to see you. I appreciate it, and I really hope that whatever you're postponing, I'm giving you the quality or something that you're gonna benefit from. Because if you're feeling like oh, Akvile is talking about stuff that I'm not interested in, go study, go do your thing, do something that's best for you. Just because I'm here to talk, you might find it in the archives of my live streams, but make sure you're taking care of your life and doing what's best for you. Rigi saying, my dreams have been particularly crazy last month. Really, what happened? Like, tell us about your dreams and what you experienced. And also, we have E-Rock with a massive donation of $10, and as well as Cosmos United. Like, you're crazy. Cosmos, why are you giving me donations if you're taking care of your own issues? Like, don't do that. But I appreciate it. I really appreciate it, though. Also, Starseed, like, there was this guy from Discord who was clearing out your entities. Have you talked to him, and have you gotten any wins? Aya is saying, please ask questions in your dreams and share your answers. Just a tip. Yeah, like a lot of people can actually fall asleep. Like before you go to bed, just ask a question about something you want to know, and in the dream you will get all the answers. Like see what's going on for real and all. So that's a good way to go. John West, question number 2. On the in your own universe list, do we also declare to merge it with me in this reality? Or it just feels like I have to say something to allow it. Otherwise it feels like 100% separate. Yeah, the thing is about like in my own universe and in this universe, it's two different things. And whatever you're manifesting in your own universe does not have to be specifically same here. The thing is, it's sort of like it's law of attraction. It is working and you're manifesting your own world, but as long as you sort of tie your own universe with this world and want to bring similar results that you have in your own universe here, you will have doubts and limits, and it's not going to manifest because you know that in this universe, right here in this world, things don't work the same way you want it to work. It's going to limit you. It's like everything you want doesn't manifest right away. So while you are creating things in your own universe, create it there and manifest it just there. And it can merge with your aspect. For example, right here, whatever personalities and abilities you might have in your own universe, you can get it here. But don't try to manifest and make all of these events and things you're trying to put in your own universe to this universe, because deep inside, you know how this place works. You've been programmed and stuff, and because of a lot of these like collective agreements and of this reality, it's like you're trying to pull this thing, but deep inside you know it's not gonna work. Deep inside you still doubt it. Deep inside you still don't believe in it, and that will be the key thing that sort of like blocks it. So try to create everything in your own universe, and don't try to make it come true right here. But then remember that like every one of us is like a writer, right? So every thought we have, everything we think of daily, every single thought about yourself, about this world, about what we focus on, you are the writer. And everything you write today in your mind, in your like with your thoughts, with your visuals, with what you focus on, you will be able to manifest it tomorrow. But with all the thoughts we have, sometimes we think like this world sucks, there's a lot of chaos, and this is going on, this is how I feel, and we start thinking bad. And the publisher, let's say your higher self or your other like aspect, is basically okay, let's bring it to manifestation. He takes your notes and your script, what you've been writing, good stuff, bad, like and what's tomorrow's result? It's kind of bad. So like if every day you can practice just a little bit by little bit, Just trying to be conscious writer about the world you want to experience tomorrow. You focus on the positive. And every day you're building that belief like, hey, I'm doing good, I'm doing great, this world is working for me, and like blah, blah, blah. But you're being specific about what you want from yourself, from this world and all, and you'll be able to pull it and manifest it. But you have to, it's like Joe Dispenza stuff where you have to forget about your body, about everything you experienced here, everything you're familiar with. You have to let it go. And take yourself to the unknown of what would I feel like if I was, let's say, completely healthy, if I didn't have myopia, if I had this and this and this. And we focus on the feelings we never had. The feelings of like, oh my God, the world is waking up, people are coming together, people are united, and you're just like in this feeling state where you're hyped up and like, man, I just think about those things and it brings tears in my eyes and stuff. And I'm like excited because like with these thoughts, if I focus on it daily, I will start seeing these things. It's like I'm turning my reticular activating system, my filter of how I see this world and what I'm focusing on. And with that, I will be able to shift my target. And now from all the stuff that's going on that's like not good for us, I will start noticing good things and start like bringing it to my awareness and bringing it to my reality. And it's going to become more and more of a thing. And eventually with the script you're writing on in your own world, you're going to get best results. So there's a lot to it. And I think whatever you're trying to manifest, don't try to bring it right away. We know that this world has a lot of like difficulties manifesting things and it's kind of hard. So just create your own like world where, in your dream world, in your own perfection, where everything can happen, just like bring all that possibilities over there. And don't try to manifest it. Just like, what do I feel like in a perfect world if I was like this? If my session was like this? If I was healthy and, like just like put everything sort of in the present time. So that there would be like, there are no entities around me. Well, you're still focusing on the entities and they're not in your space, but they're still there because you're focusing on it, and saying no and stuff is going to bring them. So like you have to make sure you talk in a way where there is no no's or no don'ts and stuff like that, because like that will still bring it. So you have to create your reality in the present time in the perfect way. Don't try to manifest, just like try to create things elsewhere in your own reality that has nothing to do with this place. But as you're focusing on this, you're going to connect the universe somehow, some way, and leave that to someone else. Don't try to do it yourself. Your other selves will try to pull it together, the universes will come together and stuff like that, but just like make sure that every day you're working on your own stuff and create a perfection in your own universe. And that will still happen and manifest here. So that would be a way of answering it and stuff. Rebel, donation of $10. Holy cow. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. You probably asked something, so I'll get to your question soon. Okay. What is the best way to stop someone from coming after you in waking time who is obsessed with you? Law will not help. Okay, it really depends on who is coming after you. I think you mentioned a few times before. I think you did. But really it had to be specific about people and who's doing it and why. A lot of times, a lot of these like entities and groups are interested in us because deep within we have similar agreements of our realities. And while you might focus on like you're fighting for freedom and you're fighting for the truth, they have their own perception of what's going on and they're still fighting for same thing. It might not be exactly the same, but the idea sort of like kind of like the double-edged sword and stuff like that. So that might be a thing. So it would be like know who is it, who's coming after you, who's obsessed with you, and you'd have to focus on for example soul conjugal vocation would be the one. But I keep using this tool and I keep pitching it. It's like a part where a lot of people hey, Akvile, come up with something new. And it's you know how there's simple truths to life. If you want to be healthy, eat healthy and work out and do other things. No. But where's the special app? Where's the implants? Where's this stuff? I just want to do something simple and easy and something new. Come on, Akvile. And it's no, it's really work out and eat healthy and stuff like that. So it's I keep bringing it up because it works. It just works. And I why try to look for something and tell you I might not have as much experience with other things as much as soul conscious stuff, but yeah, focusing on who's coming after you, and you'd have to really break it down. Who's coming after you? Why? Who's obsessed with you? Why? How do you feel about it? How many times it happens? The situations, the events. How are they coming after you? What are they doing specifically? And does it involve like financial stuff? Is it like does it involve law? Does it involve like other things? And you have to like break it down to tons of different items now. And the thing is, you're gonna find like hundreds of things to address, and just like one at a time. That's the hardest part, because like someone coming after you who's obsessed with you is a massive item and area to look into, because you might have some people like in the government, you might have some people with the laws, you might have some police people and stuff like that, you might have some crazy girl who's after you, might have some other things, and there's tons of people with tons of different reasons coming after you. And the more it's happening, it's like the nail is getting hit by a hammer. Eventually, it gets electrified and starts attracting the same stuff. So while you're getting hit by life and other things with a lot of people coming after you and trying being obsessed with you and stuff like that, while it's happening constantly, it makes you focus on this is your everyday thing. It's every day you're like someone's coming after you, someone's obsessed with you and stuff like that. And with this, all of a sudden you're gonna start seeing it all around you, because it's gonna start like manifesting more and more and more. So it's like really, it's hard. And like I don't know if you wrote me regarding that. Like I don't know if I could pull up your email and look at the details if you wrote me about it or not, but there's a lot to it. So like really depends on the situation. And I would like say that's one thing. If you could recall your past lives and see like who's exactly coming after you in this life, and like look into the, let's say like your past lives, where for example military people were coming after you, or someone else is coming after you, and look into when was one of the first times, the original time, this specific group in your past lives was targeting you. Because like whoever's like messing with you right now, they might have done the very same thing in your past life. And then you can look into thousands, tens of thousands, like lifetimes back, and see like, hey, the same group, they will look completely different, they will be doing different stuff, but by consciousness, by soul, same people who are going after you in this lifetime has connections, and we're doing sort of the same thing in your past. And so they've come a long way to mess with you, and there's some sort of connection. So I would say, if you get a chance, try looking into your past lives. Easy for me to talk. It's not easy to do, you know. Like I could do a scan for you and like maybe try to see who they are, when was one of the first times that has happened to you. And like sometimes just bringing it to your awareness, you might just in your past life find the being and see like, did you do something to piss them off? Why are they coming after you? Like, what's the origins? Like, how did it happen at the very, very first time? And when you find out, like, oh, you were set up, and that group does not understand what's going on, they're not seeing it clear, but they think you are the enemy and they're coming after you. If you can clear that stuff out, like, you know, like, stop everything, and let's say in the Astral, just explain to this same group, like, hey, you've been set up, and just give them the whole scenario of what's going on for real, they're more like, oh shit, we're so sorry. Like this happened, like, I have people I work with who were millionaires, who had like quite a few millions, and they were set up, and one person took it all away and they went bankrupt and everything fell apart. And we were looking into their issues, like why did it happen, how is it going on and stuff. And basically looking into their past lives, we found the same person that came after and ruined everything in this life did the same thing in past lives. And tracking it, like, I don't know, like 50 past lives ago, same person was messing with that and basically destroyed their life there. And when we stopped the competition, when we stopped the person in the Astral, like, you know, like just explaining the whole station of what's going on, canceling all the contracts and other things, all of a sudden in this life, the next day, that person gets a call from another person who ruins their life, and all of a sudden gives it all back and says like, hey, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, just today I thought of this thing, and boom. And the person becomes successful again and starts doing their own thing. And I'm like, damn. So like, a lot might have to do with our past lives. So if you could look into that, like see if the same group that's going after you in this life has any ties to you in the past. You might try to see if you can fix anything, have conversations or later things, and just like see if you might have an impact. But there's a lot to it. Okay, so I was like slowly scrolling up again because like I just like went and answered the comment at the bottom, and it's just gonna go up again and like try to give you more quality content if I can. Sam was also saying like, wow, happened to me too. Like I lost so much money. Well, hopefully this helps. Like there's a lot going on with us in this world daily. We all have like our own issues, but eventually, like the more people I talk to, the more I can connect like this person and this person and this person. You know, like from hundreds of clients, you start seeing patterns in how things are going, and you look into the past lives and stuff, and like you're seeing like where this is going, where it's coming from and stuff. So you sort of like just like hear about the issue and like, oh, I know where to look because this happened before, and you find similar stuff and like, okay, now I know how to solve things. So it's a thing. Marcel is saying 2 years ago in a dream, I asked tons of times, "Who am I?" And they didn't answer, but they just got really pissed off and their faces dismantled. There we go. Yeah, like depending on where you are in your dream states and what you're asking for, some beings might not like it, so you might actually break their systems. You're like looking into the awareness, into the truth and all, and while they might have their own system of how things are going, you're doing complete opposite and like, oops, just breaking their standards. They're not gonna like it. So uh, you can have all kinds of variations. Like, have you tried doing the same thing in other dreams? For example, like asking who are you in other places and like other dream states, not just one place. And maybe have you had different results or kind of like the same? That would be interesting to know. Seth is saying, I hate how when I say I'm not a fan of Trump or Q, people automatically think that you like Biden. That's the thing. If you're like, hey, I'm not in support of one or other, but I have my opinion about it. There's like, hey, like if you're not supporting this, you have to support that. Like this is like making you choose, and this whole chaos of dividing people and like have different opinions and hate each other. It's like, whoa, slow down. Like I don't care what you choose, what you believe in, and there's like no respect. Like I've seen this like thing like Gary Vee. A lot of you know that like I admire him and stuff like that, and I've seen like he made like a few second video that he voted and stuff and just like sharing his experience, like why he's grateful for America and stuff like that. And people are asking like, well, who did you vote for? And he's like, well, I voted for Biden and stuff. So Gary Vee voted for Biden this time. He voted like for Trump before, and there's a lot of people attacking him. A lot of people are saying like, you don't know shit, and like basically all these people that have been following him for years are shitting on Gary right now. And Gary's reply is complete compassion, empathy, understanding, just giving love, and like you might have different opinion than me, but it's totally okay, and know that I love you and I just like I want the best for you and stuff like that. So like watching like the comments, watching how people are attacking him and he's just giving them love and understanding and just like trying to wish the best for them and stuff, it's amazing. And that's like why I really admire Gary. It's like doesn't matter what hits him, it's just like he's up there for the people. He wants people to win, and damn, that's such a good nice thing. uh Maria is asking reference books on angels and entities. While I have not read that many on these subjects, I would say Eve Lorgan, um, Eve Lorgan, the alien love bite. You'll find out quite a bit about those beings out there. There's definitely a thing. Uh, but personally, I could not recommend that many things. Like to read and where you can get like lots of quality content. Like I say, like Eve Lorgan would be a thing. I would say like I'm not sure if it was it like Urantia has a lot of things about like angels, but the full thing is written channeling entities, channeling ETs, and the way it's written, you're reading stuff, and they're talking in lots of these smart phrases and stuff, and you're like, yeah, but you're not getting the idea. It's like, in Lithuania we have a saying iš tuščio į kiaurą, arba the way they basically are talking, they put lots of content and ideas and words, but it's just to talk, and like it has no meaning, it has no thing, it has no value, but they're just talking like lots of these big words and stuff, and you're like, sounds smart, must be a thing, and it's not. So like your answer is something to be aware of, because while a lot of people might think it's like smart and you can actually get a lot of value from it, there's a lot of bullshit, and like it's like a lot of these like angelic beings and ATs and stuff are pushing that, oh, you should reincarnate, and there's a lot of like places where, you know, like to get a better lifetime, to completely get out of the matrix, you need to reincarnate at least 7 times. Like, fuck off. I don't want to do it. I don't want to, you know, like reincarnate again. Then why would I? And it's like pushing the whole belief of reincarnation, how it's good for you, how it's good for learning. It's complete like the Earth School and stuff like that. It's like I'm not agreeing with it. So like to recommend books like that, like it has to do with angels, but it's complete programming. So I do not want to recommend that. Yeah, like they're saying, like, more words and big words does not equal truth, intelligence, or validity. That's exactly the thing. It's like, in schools, at least in Lithuania, they teach us that the way you need to understand things is like, once you're able to understand the subject, you need to understand it in a way where you can explain it to a kid, to like first grader, to like a 5-year-old, 7-year-old kid. Put it in normal words to understand the subject so that even a kid would understand it, and that's okay. But we have a lot of these like ETs and channel information. It's just like using tons of these words, and like all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're smart, we know how it is, so we're smarter, and like you have all these big words and stuff. It's like, yeah, that's fucked up. J1 is asking your thoughts on Hindu deities and gods, and what about God Krishna? Is it all real? The thing about it, a lot of these entities we talk about, let's say, you know, like Jesus and Krishna and Allah and all of these like beings and deities and like all of these things and stuff. I'm just seeing it as like they're all real, they're out there, but it does not mean that all of them are good or bad. It's like you just have a being with a name. And now we sort of like know the idea, but there are tons of others who can shapeshift, who can use the label addressing themselves, like, oh, I'm actually a bad being, but I'm gonna look like God Krishna and show up to you in your dream and try to talk to you and stuff. So a lot of these like times, these entities, they will try to give you this like very blissful feeling. They will try to make you feel good, to like get your trust, like, hey, here's some love, like you know, you're safe, like, you know, like, and you're feeling like, oh, like in this blissful state, you're kind of high and stuff, and you're going for it because like finally it's feeling safe, and it's all a show to sort of like mess with you and more, just like make you feel safe before they fuck with you. It's like having that kind of like what is it like? The last dinner before you get electrified. It's like, oh, and enjoy your meal because you're gonna die. It's like, fuck you, you know. So there's a lot of that stuff. So Re-establish is saying they'll never lock down my soul, and Iraq is saying sometimes I'm worried about it. So the thing about like locking down someone's soul, it really depends on our belief system. We're afraid of our soul being stuck, of us not being able to get out of here, for example, because of possible vaccines with chips and change of DNA and like 5G and other things like that. It's totally okay to have those feelings and sort of like be very and sort of like, I don't know, like be afraid or concerned. If you're feeling that way, it's okay to feel it. But the thing is, it's like a lot depends on our belief system territory. Like when we incarnate, the infinite consciousness starts identifying with I am a being and I am a human, and it's label after label after label of putting ourselves into something. Consciousness is limitless. It's infinite. It does not have labels. And when we start putting ourselves in a box or with tons of labels and who we are sort of locking ourselves up. So the whole thing with never being locked up as solar consciousness, it really depends on how can you break free from the programming and allow yourself to be free. You might see what's going on in the world and it's kind of like, oh damn, it's getting kind of fucked up. And so you start working on yourself. There's a lot of stuff that's going on outside that we have no control of. And I think it's great when we see what's going on, we're aware of it, we're not ignoring it, but we're not giving them power by feeling bad, acting chaotic, acting like they fuck up our feeling states and we act based on that. If we can be in control of ourselves and how we react to things, it's really great. And that's the thing a lot of beings out there in the multiverse are sort of afraid of. You can do a whole lot. You are a very dangerous being because of what you can imagine and create and what you can focus on. And because of that, they know your capabilities and they want you to be trapped. They want you to have tons of these thoughts and be worried and live in the chaos, because once you're focused on the physical body and your surroundings, you're focusing on the material world so much that you forget who you really are. And I think it's really important to remember who we really are. Remember our origins, and this is just a physical body. This is just a vessel. I'm consciousness. I'm free. I'm limitless. And because of my beliefs, I put myself in a place where they can't lock me up. This is just a physical body. They can do whatever they want with it. But to consciousness, I'm untouchable. And all of a sudden, this whole thing with locking us down as a soul becomes nothing. And we do hear about soul traps, of course. But just because we hear about all of these things going on out there doesn't mean that we're going to become the victims of it. Because once you are aware of the issues, of what might await for you out there, of what's going on, then you're like, I know about these things. And it's how, let's say if you're playing a video game, you turn on the map and there's this legend. Or for example, I think Red Dead, I can probably pull it up for you. Red Dead has a really good website for the interactive map. Let's see if I can find it for you people. Yeah. So this would be really great example. So this is Red Dead Redemption. If you are playing it, that's awesome. But basically over here on the side, you can see, you can sort of locate what you want to find, and it's gonna start showing up on the map. So same thing, when you get out of body, you can be like, I want to know where the soul traps are so that I would be able to avoid them. And you choose on this legend of yourself so that to make sure you are ignoring it, or it's or it appears and stuff. And basically right now we can is there a setting to turn off everything? Hide all. Yeah. So basically right now this is the way you can see the multiverse, right? And all of a sudden okay, so where are the soul traps? Boom. And all of a sudden you will be able to see their locations because you set your intention to not go there, to know where they are and to avoid them. So you set an intention, I want to know where they are so that I could not go there. And you turn on the setting, you basically program yourself with what you're seeing, with what you're capable of and all. And so you get this thing and you turn it on, boom. So all of a sudden, you can actually okay, this is one setting to see where soul traps are. Okay, now where are the archons? Boom. Oh shit, there's a lot of them. And you can see where they are and you can avoid it and sort of okay, now you're gone, now you're in the different space, so you turn it off so that you wouldn't be affected by it. And you're okay, where are basically some of the good beings that I can trust? Someone who's really out there to willing to help, and boom. So basically you see just Red Dead Redemption map. It's interactive and you can choose what you want to see on the map. Same way you can program yourself in the multiverse. You get out of body and well, how do I navigate? How do I see things? How do I avoid things I'm afraid of and stuff? It's all up to you. It's all up to how creative you are. You have all of these abilities, and it's in video games, or let's say, you can program yourself. You can program what you're gonna see. You get out of body and you have your own realm. What do you want to see? And it's well, I like mountains. Boom. It appears the way you want them. And the way you look, you can always change your looks, you can change your clothing, you can change who you are, like are you a female, a male, gender doesn't matter and stuff like that, your hair length and stuff like that, so you can choose your looks and change it at any time. So same way, we can change ourselves in the multiverse if we are afraid of something. If there are things out there that we're sort of concerned about and all, we're just gonna like, okay, well, I'm just gonna imagine that I have this like digital thing on my arm and I'm gonna like setting off avoiding soul traps, boom. And so in your navigation, because your consciousness is everywhere, so you can perceive everything. And just you turn on the setting in your own like consciousness, so like, okay, I have to know where these are so that I could avoid these things. And so you have it on the map, like where all the archons are, the entities, their bases, and while some of you might want to avoid it and not go there, some of you are like, I want to kick their ass, because I'm so pissed off what they did to me on Earth, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And so you're like turning on the setting, find archons, find reptilians, find greys and stuff, and you're going after them, and you find their bases and start exploding them and all. So yeah, that would be a thing. That would be a thing. So, I don't know, like, I think, like, it's really good to find a lot of, like, examples here on Earth. Because whatever you see in movies, in games, in other places, you can program yourself, and, like, you see their abilities, you can have the same thing, too. You see what you like, you can manage this within yourself. You see, like, oh, Spider-Man has this thing, and you're like, boom, I'm gonna be like Spider-Man. And, like, now all of a sudden, you can use those, like, Spire Streams and stuff like that. So, you have ability to manifest anything when you get out of body. And so when you're free, for example, your physical body drops dead and you're afraid, well, okay, so how do I get my memories back and stuff? From what you know, you're like, avoid all the traps, avoid all the dark stuff, avoid the grid and everything that if you're afraid of it, make sure it's in your like a point of view where you can see it and not go there. And once you're avoiding it, you can go to a safe place, turn it all off because you're safe now, and then look for like, it's like settings on a PC or like some like Netflix or whatever. You're like just watching stuff and you're like looking like, what do I like, what I want to see, what I want to get, recommendations. So like, oh, okay, like recommended settings by 5 billion beings that were in this place. Go there, do that. So you're looking at the recommendations, what's good for you. Like if you're like looking at the settings on YouTube, for example, like what you're interested in and stuff like that, you can find what's best for you and do that. So whatever you're afraid of and stuff, I just like want to give you more ideas or examples of what you can do and just go have fun. Don't worry about things. Because the thing is, they're trying to control us with fear. They're trying to control us with all of these worries, concerns, and what's going to happen, like all the possibilities and what if. Fuck that. Fuck fear. Fuck being afraid of. Fuck being controlled. You are God. You are this massive being, like limitless, infinite consciousness. You can do absolutely everything. And so out there, once your physical body drops dead, or maybe you're out of body, you can manifest anything for yourself, and you do not have to be afraid for any soul traps, for any locking down your soul or stuff like that, because you have the control, not them. So that'd be my answer, I guess. Andromeda is asking, hi Akvile, can you do a deep scan for me? I want to know where I originated from. Yeah, Andromeda, like write me an email. It would be good if you sent me your photo with a little bit of your story and stuff, and just photos enough as well. Like write me an email and I can definitely look into what I can find and give you the feedback. Starseed is asking, what did I think of your article about the parasites that are contagious and can infect things that you create with your energy? I did not read that. Like, where did you post that thing? Is it on Reddit or somewhere else? I did not read that thing. And you're also asking, like, did Rich get to see your tarot reading? Like, no. He's interested in other things lately, and basically, I'll leave him freedom of whatever he wants to do, like a chill mate. So, yeah. Seth is saying, create the best realm I can think of, and when I get bored of it, I'll partially mind wipe myself to enjoy it endlessly. There we go. Yeah, I'd never get bored. It's like playing a game or watching a movie and you enjoy it so much that you wish you have never seen it so that you would be able to experience it again. So you can totally just like have your memory or knowledge about everything, and you're like, everything I experienced in this life, sort of do a restart, but sort of like as a fresh experience, so that you wouldn't feel bored or you know everything. And boom! So you can have all the explorations and like same feeling states or something new and all this stuff. Alice Corrales is asking, hi, what's your opinion on 21st December 2020, where we will enter to the fifth dimension? Again, when people are bringing it up, like, at this date, we're gonna go into this new dimension and stuff like that, I see it differently. I don't see it as an event, I see it as a process. And it might sound similar, but like, it's not like 21st of December, and all of a sudden the world changes and we have ETs, we have technology, and like boom, it's a whole new world. It's like, it's not like that. At least not the way I see it. The way I see it is like 21st of December, energies might change and stuff, but because of what's going on in the world, because how we see things, we gain more awareness. Because of our awareness, we start experiencing reality differently. And the whole thing with moving into a new dimension, it's like just gaining more understanding. It's not like 21st of December and everything you knew changes in this point and the life changes and the surroundings are different, and all of a sudden we find ourselves in a whole new dimension where like Earth is here and everything else is like, whoa, it's a whole new thing. We have to redo our science and everything. It's like, it's not gonna be like that. For me, the way I see it, it's not like this date, this time, and boom, something new. It's like people are saying like 2012, the end of the world, or like all of a sudden we entered a new dimension. It was just another day in life. Some people have issues, some people were stuck in traffic, some people were having dinner, and nothing changed. And everything's pretty much the same. So I don't see it as like it's gonna be a big deal and everything's gonna change all of a sudden. It's more like more awareness, more understanding, and simply sort of staying in the same place. But the whole reality, how people think, how people feel, might be different because everyone is getting more awareness. Everyone is sort of like, okay, I understand things better, I feel better, and because of how we experience our daily life, that will change the way we see everything. So, yeah, that'd be my take on it. And also, we have Didi saying, yep, process 100%. 21st is the winter solstice and when the great conjuration of Jupiter and Saturn happens. It's a big step further into new age of Aquarius, but we've been moving into that for years. So, yeah, I guess that would be the take as well. So, let's go more into the other questions and stuff and see what we got. Ava Rose saying, hi Akvile, so you talked about Shazam. I remember that movie with Shaq 2. Just one of many memories no longer validated by the external evidence. It seems like I'm oscillating between timelines. Yeah, I was corrected. I misspoke in the video because I did not look up. So the movie is called Kazam, not Shazam. At least that's what they're saying now. I don't remember if it was Kazam in the past, but it does have the Zam ending. So like, I think like the movie of the Shaq is called Kazam. I'm getting my facts and story straight. So like, yeah, like I misspoke in that I wasn't aware of the title completely when I looked when I made the video and stuff. But I agree that there's a lot of these things that we remember about the world. Like I just had a comment where someone like say like in the Bible, the whole thing with I might find it up like with the lamb and shit. It's like the lamb eaten by the wolf and not the lion is the new thing here. I might pull it up. Yeah, so in one of the comments, a person was saying the Bible Mandela effect about the lion and the lamb is the creepiest to me. Like, I know it was always the lion, not the wolf, that lies with the lamb. And so people are saying, like, even the Bible is changing and other things. Like, so there's a lot of that stuff. A lot of things are changing on the internet, on, like, how we perceive reality and, like, what's going on and all. It's a big subject. It's a big subject to what we remember about the world and how everything is changing up. So we have D-Wave computer, we have CERN and other things affecting our timeline and how we experience things. We have time wars. There are groups of people going back in time, changing the events and everything, sort of like, oops, we have a little change here and there, and it's like constantly happening, like it's an everyday thing. So there's a lot of these things. And then, whoever runs the internet, we have the whole Silicon Valley and like how they control information and what they show us. And it's like in the George Orwell, how they rewrite history every single day, how like Winston, like I think it was his name, like he's sitting at the table editing notes and like he's seeing one day say this, next day say that, and is constantly editing and like has to rewrite things that the party would agree with. So it's kind of like a world is so slowly moving there. So yeah, it's like a lot of people like might find like, hey, I remember this world being this way, I remember this thing being that way, and all of a sudden it's like Rich just brought it up today. He was looking at the Easter Islands, and like all these like Easter heads, like they're big. But the new thing is they always had the red hat on. I don't recall seeing that ever, but it's the new thing. It's like a lot of these things are being changed up and saying this is the new thing, like this is the new normal, like accept that and stuff. So like a lot of that is being pushed in this. Ara Rose is asking, are timelines collapsing into one, or do many parallel realities exist simultaneously? The second way is basically there's tons of parallel realities existing simultaneously, and sometimes we interlap with each other. So, for example, like today you're walking and eating, and there might be another being in their own reality, but on a similar vibration and stuff, we start meeting up, and they see us, they notice us, and they can come to us and all that stuff. So there's a lot of like variations, but there's tons of these like realities that exist simultaneously, parallel and stuff like that, so it's still a thing. Reestablished is saying, at one point and I had names for different shows within my life. I was told I was being watched like a reality show before they even existed. Here's the thing, this whole thing with feeling like, like a Truman Show, like you're being watched, is 100% real. It depends on how you see the world and how do you think, like maybe you're into ETs, maybe you're into aliens and stuff like that. There's a whole lot. And the thing is, I've worked with people who have serious issues. For example, they have no control of their body. It's like someone else is able to control their body and pull the strings, and the person is sitting normally, but all of a sudden their hand will shift like that, they will move differently, they will drop things, they will be clumsy and stuff. They have no control. It's like the body just like acts on automatic. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And literally, working with a person for hours and hours and hours, and we find out that the person is literally controlled by ETs from another world. And those ETs are simply people with their own reality, bored as hell, and watching that specific person from Earth as their reality show. Just having fun, using little controller, like, oh, we're gonna fuck with that person. They click a controller thing, like they're gonna pull it up and like, okay, move that away, do this and stuff. And they're just like clicking the controller and the person is acting weird and stuff like that. And just being able to connect with the person and those who control the person from that world disconnected. And the person, like, after the session is like, wow, they have full consciousness of their body and they have full control. Just because we disconnected some beings that were controlling the person. And this is not just one case. There's hundreds of people experiencing this thing. Hundreds. So if you're feeling like I feel like someone's watching a reality show of me and I feel weird, like I have no control of my life, well, it's quite possible there might be other groups interested in you and what you're experiencing, so be aware of that. Keep it in mind. Okay, so I'm sort of like going through your questions now and seeing what you're talking about. Andre is asking, does traveling in the astral affect the rest of our body? So here's the thing, our astral body is kind of like a second body, so usually whatever happens to the astral sort of affects us, not fully, but kind of like energetically. If they, like, so for example, like capture your astral body, if they suck your energy and stuff, you're gonna sort of feel drained when you wake up in the morning. There might be a lot of things that can happen to you in the astral, and depending on what you experience, it can have an effect, but it does not mean it will always be the thing. Whatever happens to your astral body, you can make sure you program yourself with, like, whatever happens, it does not affect my physical body, so you have kind of control of what happens. It's sort of like, usually on sort of like default settings, whatever happens to the astral affects you energetically, and you might feel some changes and stuff because of that. So you have to be aware. And the thing is, like, it's not something to worry about. You can have your astral body blow up, it can be kidnapped, it can be taken tons of times. Whatever happens, you can disconnect from it and stuff like that and not feel that many shifts and changes and stuff. So like it's not something like, oh shit, like they took my body, or like I'm affected and like, oh fuck. So like it's not something to really be afraid of. Like basically, like, check out how you feel in the morning, how you feel throughout the day, and look if it's kind of like okay, you're good. If you're feeling like kind of like tired, exhausted, like like other things are going on, then doing some clear out, like like connecting cords, connecting other things, like breaking clones and stuff like that, that'll be helpful. So like it's definitely a good thing to be aware of this thing. Nicholas is asking, Akvile, is there any special techniques that we can try in order to apprehend or subdue certain troublesome spirits that are able to affect the physical environment, like pushing or shoving objects? It's definitely a thing. I've seen it happen a lot, and like I've had people, like I work with people who had like some serious shit going on. One of the main things, if you're not scared of it, if you're feeling confident in yourself, talk to this being. Because by talking, you're addressing it, and you can actually find a lot of answers and get some information and see where are they coming from and stuff. So talking is one of the things you can try, but if you're feeling like, oh damn, I feel like they might come at me, I'm not ready for this, don't do this. Like if you're not trusting yourself, don't go for it, because like it might affect you in a negative way. You might like be scared and like, oh shit, like it's gonna like be more of a backfire. So you don't have to talk out loud, but you can sort of like, okay, so there's this being affecting the surroundings, and like it's sort of like messing with me or like other things. So you can try communicating with it in your mind, because we are telepathic. So whatever you think of, you can ask a question in your mind pointed at the specific being, and you're gonna get the telepathic answer, like you're gonna know it. So that might be helpful. Once you know, if you know why they're there, why are they messing with you, which is sort of important to know, that would be good. But then like as the entity work, it's kind of like working with these entities and spirits. It's like you have to be a life coach for them. You have to coach them and help them to be free, because a lot of times these beings are not here doing this willfully because they want to fuck with us, but more like because they stuck and they're looking for ways to get out, and like they're just messing with you. Like you might be the only person that's actually seeing this thing. Like not really, but like more like for them, it seems like you are the only one that is seeing all of this happening, and they really want to like work with you and just like get some help and stuff like that. So depends on the situation and how good or bad it is. Depends on how they're affecting you and how you're seeing things. But then like despite from like apart from communicating with this being, I would say looking into why it's here. Like you might ask yourself the question, you might like get out of body, or you might go in a dream and ask this question and stuff like that. Like you might get some answers why this being is here and they're stuck. But simply like your visuals are super powerful. What you imagine, you can create and manifest. And for example, you just like visualize this being like, okay, it's stuck here on Earth, and you like, okay, so this being is like messing with the surroundings, like pushing things around. Just like imagine taking this being, teleporting it to a whole new world where they will have everything that pleases them, might be their loved ones and stuff. You take this being, teleport them, and put them into a whole new world, and close it up, and they have their own life, they do whatever they want, they're happy and satisfied, but they're not in your space anymore. And that like works a lot of times, so you might try working with that, like just like your visuals and putting in like working with it. So that'd be a thing, something to try out. Cosmos is saying, we can manifest money. I have revoked some issues and I believe more now. That's good. I'm glad you're doing the work, Cosmos, and like getting some wins from it. It's important, and really depends on what kind of subjects you're addressing, because like, just the whole money subject is super wide and big. But as you're going into the like details of like, for example, not making enough money, not getting paid enough, or like different things, you're just like broking these agreements. But then it's like, hey, all of a sudden you get a raise, all of a sudden they bring you more information or like things, and boom, you get help, you get like what you want, and that's a good thing. I'm glad you're doing the work. Andromeda is asking, Akvile, do you think fairies and elves exist? I do. Like, a lot of times I meet them in my out-of-body experiences, so they're like a common being out there. And there's a lot of beings who are actually, for example, here, just meditating. And, like, for example, they're in the forest and they see, like, these little beings show up and stuff. So, it's out there. It's definitely out there. Like, it sort of, like, depends on what kind of energy you have. Because you might be just, like, meditating and all. And, you get into the vibration that fits into this parallel reality of these beings, and now you connect with them, and with the parallel reality sort of like interlapsing, or like they get on the same level, you might be able to experience them, which is like sort of like people like see Bigfoot and other beings. If you connect a certain vibration, you can get like sort of like, hey, here they are, here I'm seeing this sort of thing. Joe Roberts is saying, hey, day 8 of No Weed, the dream is getting better, but not out yet. Well, that's a good start. Like, that's a good start, like, that you're off the thing, and also you're getting more visuals and better dreams. So keep doing this, John. I'm really glad you're trying. Pay attention to, if you have any memories, just, like, write it down, keep the journal, if possible, and one little bit at a time. Salah is asking, what do you think of the video Universal Disclosure by Martin Kenny? I haven't watched that, Salah. I'm gonna copy it and make sure I have it on my end. Zach is saying, Akvile, I've wrote you a detailed email about some cool stuff that has been happening since your last session with me, and I had to lose streams last week, so thank you. Zach, I'm glad you're getting these experiences, and this is good. Like, we can definitely do more work and see another level where that goes. Okay, so like I'm scrolling down through what you're talking about, and John West, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it, buddy. And Jonathan is saying, like, Akvile, sometimes this life haunts me while I'm sleeping, and why? It really depends on what you're seeing. For example, like falling asleep and experiencing sort of like daily life of what you get here, of like real life events and like getting those triggers. Sometimes those are like constructs, like the whole dream state of what you're experiencing is a construct by someone else. So like someone else might put you into like, hey, watch this, and they try to trigger you with that fact. Those things like that, that might be a thing. Um, it's rarely a thing where we experience like these things daily, and then we're attached to this world that we want to see it and manifest it, so we create those things in our dream state. But more like um, a lot of times what you're seeing out there, it might be just like this life, what you're experiencing in this life you're getting in your dream state. Usually that is kind of like a holographic visual. It's kind of like watching a movie or like having a VR glasses on. And for example, while in the real, like once you're out there, you're experiencing the real world out there. You're experiencing other realities, other beings. But you put the VR glasses with a movie, and you're feeling like it's real. You're walking around. You're experiencing things, but it's more like a projection. So they're trying to make you see this life, what you're like seeing here on Earth, while the real picture is like you might be on some sort of spaceship or Earth stuff, and they don't want you seeing that stuff. So like they try to like put you, like get a mask on your face, or like make sure like you're sort of like looking elsewhere and not seeing the real stuff. So that might be something to look into, like maybe get rid of these like constructs, or like get rid of this projection, so that you would be able to access the information and stuff like that. That might be one of the things. Hi Didus, good to see you here, buddy. Yeah, I've been working my ass off. Like I'm taking a break from anime sub and other things, and I'm just working on myself. It's your fault, buddy. You inspire me. Like your workouts and stuff. You're the reasons why I'm like, damn, I need to work on myself more. So like I spend a lot of time working on myself, and like I'm getting lots of wins from that. But I should get back to getting some work done, because I still have some projects hanging and stuff. But it's good to see everybody. Yeah, so regarding I see like Robin Joe asking, saying like, hey, I have a question, like, so answer it, please. I'm scrolling down from top to bottom. Like I might answer to some people at the bottom, but I'm like usually scrolling from top to just like cover everything, or like most people at least. And I might not get to you for a while until I scroll down, but we'll see. Yeah. Lena is asking a really good question. Why do people like Gary Vee seem to have a lot of less blockages or interference compared to the rest of us here? Is it his first incarnation here, or maybe just like he's really good at playing the Earth game? So like for Gary Vee, as far as I watched his videos, he had a pretty trash life. His parents, like at least his dad, is like coming from like Belarusia, and that was being controlled by USSR, and it's like this whole communism and like really harsh family. And you come as an immigrant to America, and you're being bullied. Like he was made to drink piss, like people just like pee in the can, like, hey, like, want some soda, and he drinks it, like, oh shit, like it's actually pee and stuff. And like, so being laughed at, being bullied, being fucked with, failing at school, and like really hating and stuff like that. He just had his own strengths. and his own interests. For example, he was like good entrepreneur. He was like smart as a kid and knows like how to advertise and how to get people, how to get clients and stuff like that. So uh, as far as I know, he had a lot of issues in life. He was going through a lot of stuff, but it's more like just having the strength and um, keeping a point of view where you can get some wins and all. So for me, like it really depends. Each person finds their own, let's say, a fort or someone they're looking up to and stuff like that. Like Cosmos United, that's the thing. I see what you're saying. Like I don't like Gary Vee at all. Like hustling is not my thing. But that's what you're getting if you watch Gary Vee for a few minutes. Or let's say you watch some of his videos and you hear hustle, work hard and stuff like that, and there's like one thing after another where he's pushing you to work your ass off to hustle and do that shit. And it's not his message. It's something he's saying because he's doing it. But a lot of what Gary has to say is all about love, compassion, empathy, and how to live life where everything else people are saying about you is not affecting you. Where you know your own value, you know who you are, and you're gonna do everything like to take care of yourself. It's like Gary's saying like the whole world will do their work at tearing you apart. So don't do this for yourself. Like don't tear yourself apart because everyone else will do it for you. You have to love yourself. You have to work at like taking care of yourself. You have to learn how to love and like he's talking about how humanity is so freaking hurt that there is no compassion and understanding, and there's this whole people are divided and in their chaos. And his message is like trying to bring people together. But the thing is, like, if you don't like him, don't watch him. It's like really find your own truth. Find what fits your own picture. Find what works for you. I might have my own message, and you don't have to agree with me all the time. I watch people. And for example, I listen to Gary Vee like today because like I take breaks because like Gary's like stop listening to me and go live your life. It's not about motivation. Like forget motivation. I hate like Gary hates motivation because it's more like you get hyped like yeah, and you're not doing anything with it. You're just like yay, feeling like this and everything stops there. So like Gary's like encouraging people to find their dream life and live that, not going for some official stuff. If you don't like your work, fuck that work. Like make sure you're enjoying your life so that you would not have regrets, so that you wouldn't live your life you hate. And Gary's all into pushing be happy, happiness, compassion, love, kindness, empathy. And when you hear those things, like damn. So like I can talk about it because I watched this stuff enough to where like I watched it and I'm like, okay, I have my own things, I manifest it in my life and I'm working. But just because I like him, you don't have to like him at all. Just because, like, for example, I listen to Tony Robbins or Mel Robbins or some other people and their message works for me, it will not work for everyone. Which is why it's so great that we have so many people out there and you listen to tons of different messages, and what Gary might say, another person will say it in different words and it will click with you. Gary's might not. Tony Robbins might not. Teal Swan might not. But you hear another person who looks completely different and they're saying similar thing in different words and all of a sudden clicks and like, my god, and it might be the eye opener stuff. Like, so I don't like I admire Gary Vee because of his tips and his mindset. I was able to change my life completely. Where I was like really going down and I was like, like this life sucks and I hated it and I was like really bad. I because of him and his tips, I was able to use that mindset and like take what I liked from his content. Doesn't mean that like hustle 24/7 and work your ass off. Gary's not saying that. Like he's not saying like don't sleep and work your life off and do the things to succeed. No. Gary says like sleep is super important. Taking care of yourself is super important. Being happy about what you're doing is super important. But complaining about life where oh shit, like you have to hustle to get those results. But if you're like, let's say you're comfortable on the couch watching a movie and you're happy, he's so happy for you and he cheers on you and he would make sure like you're feeling good about that. But if you're like you want to be successful and you're still on the couch and you're like, I want to make more money, I want to do this in life, but you're not doing anything about it. And that's where Gary says like, hey, you should get up from the couch and do this thing. And he's trying to find words to inspire people to take action. And it's like watching him, he has this video for haters. He has this video for haters where it doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter what people think. You know, like some people might trash you, might trash your content, they might hate you, they might not like you, they might talk bad about you, but it does not matter about what they say. It matters about how you feel about yourself. And Gary is willing to put himself as a wall in front of the world and you to make sure that you can live your own life and be the best version of yourself and be happy in the shithole and just have the best results while the whole world tries to attack you because you might have different beliefs. Gary is willing to put himself as a wall to protect you from all of those arrows coming from people so that you would feel comfortable doing your own thing. And when I got that from his content, I'm like, damn, I want to make a YouTube channel. I want to talk about Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. It really, like, I'm going all around the place, but like, because of him and his message, I was able to start. Because I thought like, hey, I want to create a YouTube channel, I wanted to share my own message, but I'm afraid of what people will think. What if my family finds out that I'm actually have a whole different belief system than them? What if they start shitting on me? What if I have this public where people I had, like, I was in school with, people I worked with and stuff, they're gonna see who I am and they're gonna trash me and stuff like that. I had tons of fears. But listening to Gary V made me go into, fuck that. I want to live my own life. I want to do what I like to do. I want to be happy doing my own thing and not working for some other companies, not doing something I don't enjoy. While my family might push me into, hey, Akvile, you need to finish college, you need to become a doctor, you need to become a dentist, you need to be this, they have a perfect image of how they see me and they would be happy and they think that, like, whatever they know would be best for me, it's not best for me. They assume they know. They have really good intentions. And that's where Gary comes in into, it's okay if your parents have different image. Fuck your parents. Do you. Do your own life. Live for yourself. And listening to that made me like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, hi mom, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel and I'm gonna talk about topics that you don't like or you might not like. And I'm gonna do this thing. And then I call, like, hi grandma. So your neighbors might see me on YouTube and I'm gonna do my own thing because it makes me happy. And the people that I was afraid of, I talked to them. I confronted them. I said, like, I'm gonna do this thing. Whatever happens on YouTube, you might not like my content, you might not like me, you might sort of disagree with what I'm saying, but I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this because I like it. I'm doing this because of you. Like, you're here listening to me. Like, holy cow, it feels so good to have an audience that's actually interested in. And because of that, like, you know, like, Gary is helping me to form a mindset where I'm able to tackle life and do what I like and, like, go for my dreams. And it doesn't matter how big and crazy it might be, I feel comfortable doing what I want to do. Not be afraid of what other people are saying and stuff like that, but, you know, like, just going for your own freedom, just going to be happy. And that sort of allows me to be where I am today. So while you're listening to Gary or some other people, like, I'm pushing Gary because, like, he really helped me to form my mindset and how I'm living life and stuff. But just because it works for me doesn't mean that it's gonna work for you. So I think, like, what we want in life, there are a lot of people that already have reached similar results or something we want. So we already have people who trailed trailblazers and stuff like that. Yeah, who basically, they have carved their own road. They have reached the results we want to have. And we don't have to reinvent the bicycle. We don't have to reinvent the wheel and, like, do our own things. It's like, hey, here's an example of someone I admire. I want to do something like that. What did they do and what kind of tips I can use from their life to make my own thing? You don't have to be complete copycat, but simply seeing someone you admire and just taking some of the things they like or you like from them and just building it up. So for me, I have tons of people I admire and I don't necessarily have to fit absolutely everything they're saying about. Like, I necessarily have to agree with everything they're saying, like them all the time and, like, everything they're saying and stuff like that. But I see the parts that, like, hey, this person has this thing, this person has this thing, this character has this thing, and I'm forming myself, like, I'm seeing all these personalities and characteristics and things they do, and I'm like, I like that. I want to do this stuff. And I started building myself from little bits, and that's the thing. We're living in a world where a lot of our families are sort of, even though they have really good intentions for us, some of them do, even though we're living with them, a lot of people are still suppressed. A lot of people are still living in the fear of what others will think of them. How will we react to things? How will we do things? And like basically breaking free from your family and those surrounding you is hard enough. But it's even harder to, after you're out, to deprogram yourself from all this programming you've had all these years of other people telling you how you are, who you are, and because of their attacks on you, because of what they've been saying and maybe insulting you, you've been like living a life where you think you're not good enough, you might feel like you're not attractive, you might feel like you're not confident and stuff, and you have your own beliefs of how you see yourself. And to sort of like deprogram yourself, detox from all this stuff, and say it's finally like, who am I? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? Like, not have others tell me that, but decide for yourself. And so like when I was able to do this sort of thing, I found a lot of people that I sort of like admired, like they had results as I want to have, and I just looked at the things I liked and sort of like, okay, they have this thing, I'm gonna try to do something similar or use their advice, and sort of like to form my mindset in a way where I am where I am right now because I was able to do this sort of thing. And those people might have had a super hard life. They might have had sort of, I don't want to say easy. I think like we don't see people like right now where we see Gary Vee and Tony Robbins and stuff like that, and so like these people like that we might admire, we haven't seen them document their journey. We haven't seen them every single step of the day. And so like for Gary Vee, his advice is like don't create, document, because like a lot of people when they're starting, for example, YouTube channel and stuff like that, like, and I was thinking like when I was gonna start my YouTube channel the first time, I was like writing scripts and I had everything ready and this like massive speech I'm gonna say and like I had this perfect image, and I did it for weeks and weeks and weeks and I did not start it. I did not do anything because like it has to be this way, it has to be perfect, and I'm waiting for this like perfect moment and timing and how should I say it and sort of memorizing the speech and saying it and stuff like that, and I felt like I am just not comfortable doing this sort of thing. And I watched Gary Vee and he's saying like, like, hey, perfection is not good because you're never gonna get there. There's always gonna be like, you can get more and more and more and more and stuff like that. And just like, I don't know, like listening to him I was able to form a mindset where all these fears I might have about myself, the things I did not like about myself, like my looks, for example, having crooked teeth and stuff, like, like I look like I look what I look like. So I have tons of things that I might not like speaking fast, not speaking clearly, and other things like that. And just opening up YouTube and saying like, hi, this is who I am. This is what I don't like about myself. It's kind of like that like Eminem thing where in this like last 8 Mile battle, he's rapping and his whole thing was just saying everything bad about himself, leaving the opponent nothing to say because like, oh shit, he already like crapped himself so he can't say anything more and he's speechless. So it's kind of like starting my YouTube channel with like, I'm gonna drop everything that's like I think is not good about me, everything that's sort of like I don't want people to know, just like freedom. I just took this massive weight off myself where, damn, I feel like I tons of these fears of like, if people find out I'm this, if people find out I'm this, if people see my crooked teeth, they're not gonna like me. If people see that like I look kind of weird or like I talk fast, I have different accents and stuff, they're not gonna like me. Like, oh shit and shit and shit. So like first video, drop it all off. Say like, hey, I suck at this, I'm bad at this, this is this. I drop this weight off and wow, I feel this freedom. I feel like I'm safe, and all of a sudden no more fear. So for me it worked because I could build myself up, because I could see what I want to be and just building myself from different aspects, different like personalities and stuff, and like now I am being a person I like myself. I don't dwell, I don't feel guilt, I don't like go to sleep and it's like, oh shit, like I did this bad thing and I should redo it. Like, no, it doesn't happen. I'm like, I go to sleep and I'm happy with myself and my results. And reaching the state where life is good, where I don't worry, where there are no concerns and stuff like that, I want others to succeed as well. They don't have to be anything like me, anything like people I admire. You can be a version of yourself, do things completely differently. But the whole point is to be happy, to be confident in yourself and who you are, and do your own thing. You're free. Do what you want. And having these things like where these people were able to sort of like help me create that mindset. Now that I'm feeling so great in life, I know how bad it can be, and I want to help others to get there as well. I know how life can suck, and I just like, I've been there, I might not have suffered as much as you did. I might not have the same issues as you have, but I've had my own little share of problems. I've gone through that. I've over like I had my own like fears and like other things, and to be able to step over them and face all that and to reach results where I am right now, I'm super happy. And because I'm happy, I want others to know what it's like. So I want to do my best to, let's say, in my content, while my message might not be something that you agree with or you're not interested in, I want to know that like I do something to bring value in your life and maybe to bring you further, to not be afraid of some things, to give you certainty, to give you some knowledge on some of the things. I'm not the perfect example. I'm far from it. But I want people to know what it's like to have a life where you're happy, where you're not worried, where like things can happen outside and you can't control it, but deep inside you're like, it's still not gonna affect me. You know, like you still know that like what you're capable of, what you can do and stuff. So like because of that, I like Gary Vee. His political beliefs, wherever he's going, whatever he's doing in life is his own thing. Tony and other things, like that's their own world. I don't care. But I know what I like in them. I know that I like that strength. I know that I like the happiness, the freedom, the ability to be in control of your life and how you feel and how you act and being happy and all of these things. I'm repeating myself, I guess. But seeing that stuff, this is what I like. And I might not agree with them exactly everywhere. And I don't care about your life that much. But seeing the things that I want to have in my own life, I want to do things that would bring me there. So there. So talking about Gary Vee and stuff, like I think like having someone that like maybe you admire or someone you can look up to and just take some of examples from their life and bring it to yours to get similar results is great. You don't have to agree with them, you don't have to have anything connected to them, but more like, hey, this person is happy. Why? I want to be happy too. And just like simple things that you might like from that activity, from that mindset, take it. But anything else that you don't agree with, like don't go there. I'm completely fine if you don't agree with me. I'm completely fine if you have different opinion about me. I'm completely fine if you're shitting on me and saying like, Akvile, you suck, you're the worst person in the world, and you're dumb as fuck, blah, 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 blah. I'm fine with that. It's your own world, it's your own perception. And that's the thing that I, again, like about Gary Vee. It's like, he has the strength to, where people are saying good things about him, and where people are shitting about him. He's in the difference where none of that stuff will affect his own world, because he knows who he is for real, and he's happy with it. And whether people shit on him, or whether people think like he's the messiah and stuff, he doesn't care, because he sees himself as, you know, he pictures himself. And I like that. I like you know, like you not agreeing with me, and like I respect that. I like when you agree with me, and I respect that, but I know who I am, and I'm going for my own goals, and on the road, while some might support me, while some might not, and like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm doing my own thing, and I love that thing. So, anyhow, I'm talking a whole lot. I should, like, give you some time, and give you some better content than that, I guess. So, yeah. I don't know, like, there's a lot of subjects to talk about what's going on in the world, about spirituality, about entities and ubis and stuff like that. But at the same time, a lot of people are living in the world where we're looking for ways how to be happy. We're looking for ways how to live a better life, how to have like less of these things that limit us and stuff like that. And to learn to deprogram ourselves, to learn like little tips of what can we do to make our life better. I'm interested in that. And I think like changing up the content. Like I made tons of videos on ubis and stuff. I made videos about politics, and it's not about being right or this is who I support with and stuff like that. It's completely not about that. It's more like, hey, here's a message. I want to share it. You agree with it or not, doesn't matter. I respect your opinion. I just want to share the stuff, and I feel freedom to do this, and I do not need someone to allow me to do it or not. And like I was sort of like even wondering like, oh damn, I like video games. On my free time, when I'm done with work and other things, I'm playing video games, for example, sometimes, not all the time. And I started recently recording video games, and like, okay, I'm gonna upload this stuff. Oh shit, people know me as a spiritual channel, so they're not gonna like that. And I'm like, why am I worrying about this? This is for me. I like that. Some people will be interested, some people will be completely not interested. And this is totally okay. So like, okay, like I played a video game, and I'm gonna upload this like thing. Cool. And so people can watch it if they like it. People don't have to watch it if they don't like it. It's totally cool. But to have the freedom to do it, and not worry about it. It's what I really like. So yeah, so there it is. I don't know, like, I guess my message or something I want to say is that, like, deprogramming ourselves and living the life where we can be happy and not worry about, like, things that don't matter is a really good thing. So there. I should shut up now for a while. Yeah, and as I was saying, I need to book a session just so I can tell you my progress, Akvile. Much love and whatever you do, and my support for the help you do for people. I really appreciate it, buddy. Write me an email. You don't really have to book a session. I'm willing to talk to people. The only thing, like, I did a live stream and I was doing like giveaways and like doing like these like free sessions and stuff. So I need to take care of my main client list before I go to the new ones that I give away for free to sort of like I don't want people to feel like, hey, I paid and they are our person is getting the priority, right? So like I need to cover those that have paid, and after that I'm taking the ones that got it for free. And with that, you know, you can totally get on the list. Like as just write me an email, we can totally talk and all. So there. Cosmos is saying, I admire you for the spirit of detachment and discernment. Really, really cool. Appreciate it. Thank you. Play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm planning on it. Like, Assassin's Creed like Valhalla might be fun. I know, like, in the previous versions that I played in the past when I was younger, I think like it was the SCO trilogy, it had some good stuff on the New World Order and Illuminati and shit like that. Like, it had some good sort of like self-disclosure. So we might see some of that in Valhalla, but who knows? Yeah. Franco is saying, would you consider even me giving a Ubi course? Yeah, Franco, I'll give it to you. I'm sort of scrolling back up to get back on the questions in the... Oh... I think I scrolled down enough to where I'm probably not gonna get a lot of your messages of what you've been writing up. Oh, shit. Wait, I'm actually... We'll see. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what happened, like, I'm on Streamlabs right now, and a lot of you have been talking a lot, which is, like, great, but at the same time, my chat dropped, and so whoever was at the top and that I was reading and catching up with sort of disappeared, so I might not answer a lot of questions. I'm right now at the place where Franco Fabius mentioning the rage faces, and Didi saying you can change how you look here in the 3D by choosing the set of your mind into different state and stuff like that. So if I miss any of your questions and you feel like I haven't answered some of that, like write back the same question, make sure like it's there so that I would notice you. Okay, Ernick is asking, do you have to be in a human body in order to create? No other beings besides humans can create. Yeah. So basically, you do not have to be in human body in order to create. It is, it's more like, human body is just a vessel. It is the consciousness that can create. And for example, while reptilians might have it turned off, because the consciousness created those beings and sort of like, okay, these beings cannot create and visualize. So like we ourselves created them and we turned off their ability. But you know, so you can have any kind of body and create depending on who you are. But like, you know, like some beings are like, you have a consciousness and you are in the body of whoever knows, and so you can create, but other times there's basically like soulless, like an NPC or like ran by the AI, they cannot create. So just to say it sort of like a bit clear and stuff like that. Okay, let's see what else is saying. Starcy is asking, Aquila, did you see my tarot? Sorry, did it. Uh, First thing first, do not be sorry. I'm really glad you did it. At the same time, I have not seen it because my priorities were elsewhere, but I should open it up and read it today. Is it like, wait, is it in my email or somewhere else? I can totally like check it out after the stream. The Rebel is asking, do you believe this construct is dissolving? So, I would say yes. There's a lot of wars going on, and like for example, like lately I've been getting out of body, and I'm seeing the other side. Like for example, the guys, some of the factions, I should say, some of the factions we're fighting, they're losing and they're backing off. Not everyone. So there's still a lot of the war going on. There's still a lot of like conflicts and stuff. This construct is dissolving a little bit by little bit. It's like asking like, oh, like everything's gonna be great when something happens. Like no, it's like it's a whole process. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's totally dissolving. Yes, it is dissolving, but just like again, little bit by little bit. Elias is asking, did you ever meet an entity and talk about outside absolute infinity or impossible stuff? I had a few. I had a few that were, like seems like just a little entity that's trapped, but it's like seems like it was like a wise being who was sort of like forced to be the slave and forced to be the entity, a wise being that was actually like forced to mess with a person. But when you're like sort of like wake them up and you're like, hey, you are not supposed to, well, like not like not supposed to, but you don't have to be a slave, and you wake them up to their power and they're like, whoa. So when they back off and for example they have safety and they know that they're not going to be attacked, you can actually talk with them, and damn, they know stuff. They know stuff of what's going on. They can tell you about like other ETs and how their methods work, and like impossible stuff. Like depends what you're talking about specifically, because what we think that is impossible on Earth is more than possible out there. So like really depends on like it's kind of like relative. Sage is asking, are narcissists human and are they controlled by other beings, etc.? Since there are so many narcissists walking around to feed off of feed off and control people, and seems like they work for the dark side. Yeah, so the narcissists, it really depends who you meet, because some of them might be soulless. I saw a few who were like worked with a few people who had narcissists in their surroundings, and they were completely soulless. But at the same time, it's just consciousness being that way. It's really like a being like you who has similar powers who can be complete asshole. Not everyone wants to be a good guy and like, hey, what's up, buddy? Like, I love you and stuff. Like, not everyone likes that stuff, and so like it's just basically different beings with their own agendas, with their own things that they like. At the same time, they're kind of like traumatized and programmed from what they've been going through, and seems like narcissism is what fits their world the best. It seems like they have suffered, they have been through a lot, and they find that their only coping mechanism is to be that narcissist, to be like in control of people, of like like how they perceive stuff, how they talk to others. It's like a person who has no control in life and is like always failing finds that like by, for example, by lying all the time, you're gonna get some truth and people will sort of like follow. And you're like, if you're like if nothing works in life and you're like trying to be kind and giving and stuff, and like people like like calling you a liar and stuff like that, a lot of us want the truth. We're doing things like we want certainty in life, we want to have confidence, we want to have other things. While some people like need affinity and like they might need some relationships in their life, other people feel like they really need some control in lives to feel right, to feel like they're strong, they're right ones, they have control. Because of that, some people go into being so messed up that the only way they can be right is to mess others up, is to cause problems and lie your ass off to create your own reality of how you see everything, and you feel right about it. Like, yeah, this is the way it is. And you lie your ass off and you make others feel bad. And because most people are into kindness and like being good, we sort of like subdue to that and we feel like we're the victims and we're like, we're really hurt. But the same people that cause it, like, they're hurt as well. It's just that they stopped like being aware of it. And now because of their trauma, they're trying to satisfy their needs. And it's like a person becomes completely unaware of what's going on, and they just do it because they feel like it, because it's their nature, but they're not like aware of the real issues within them. So more like a lot of narcissists are human, they have soul, they have consciousness, everything's like us, they've just been hurt in their own way, they're not aware of it, and they're like working on this mechanism, kind of like where they're like, you know, like a machine to try to satisfy your own needs. So yeah. Flameria is saying, actually scientific studies have found narcissists are missing in the part of their prefrontal lobe that process emotions is a general trait passed down. There's another thing, I wouldn't doubt it. There's a lot of like variations. Some people might have a lot of emotions as kids and go through a lot, and I work with people who, for example, are, you know, like had a great like life as a kid, super happy, like emotional and everything like that, but then in life end up getting a work where they work as a spy, or let's say they have to blend in, and you're like one person, but then your job is like, it's like we're talking like deep, we're talking about like working with CIA, FBI, and like others, those deep groups, and the person has to blend into the crowd, to the crowd, acting like a whole different person. It's like you have to put a mask on and act like someone you're not to do your job and stuff. And people live that fake life for years and years and years, to the point where they're doing so much shit that they forget who they really are. And all of a sudden, the mask that they put on, they assume that this is their reality and this is who they are, forgetting everything they've been through. So it's like being an emotional person who really goes through stuff, who really wants love and stuff like that, and then works for like, let's say FBI and other places where they are like undercover cop or something, and they're working undercover, like putting up a story and like just like living with those groups for like years and years and years, and they come back as a whole new person. You can't know like who the hell they are. They change completely. There's a lot of those cases, but the thing about like prefrontal lobe missing is it's totally a thing. There's a lot of like psychopaths, sociopaths, and other things like who don't have empathy, who have no feelings, for example, no remorse and stuff, and people who suffer and stuff like that. Like something bad happens, we see an animal suffering, it kills us. We hate when an animal suffers. We hate seeing other people in pain because we're able to be empathic and feel that. We're able to pick it up. Others, like the deep state and stuff, they don't have it going. They feel okay killing people, causing this pain and shit like that. So like, it's a lot. It has a lot. It's not like one thing like, oh, they're not human. There's a lot of parts with the genetics, with our own body, with what we've been through and stuff like that. There's a whole lot to it. So like, it's blaming one little thing about the thing is not correct. I would say there's like a lot of parts that contribute to it. Flamera66 is asking, hi Akvile, did you select your body and birth parents before you came here, or were you given options, and were you alone during this process, or with other beings? I was pretty much alone. Like in the multiverse, I prefer solo style. Like I can have relationships and everything else, but I do prefer acting on my own, having like, you know, not counting on others, or like not being as a group person. It's kind of like weird, but like it's a thing in my world. So because of that, like I pretty much like usually act on my own. Like, so for example, if I'm gonna go on some place, I'm gonna go alone. If I'm interacting and there's a group that wants help, I'm gonna, you know, help out. But like, okay, help is done. Bye now. I'm gonna go do my own thing. So I'm not involved in that many groups and stuff. Like I can live with them, I can help them out, but I'm not gonna be like always like their part. Like I can't say like I'm always alone, but I prefer like working solo because there's like less how to say, like, blackmail or shit like that. It's kind of like, you know, like how they try to set you up, like, if you don't do this, we're gonna kill someone you love and all. I've been through enough of that stuff where I'm gonna work alone. There's no one I'm attached to. They can't, like, blackmail me. They can't set me up. It's not gonna hurt me. If I'm, like, suffering, I'm gonna do it alone. So, like, because I had enough of that, like, it's just more like, coming here alone, like, without anyone else talking to me and stuff like that, like, stuff like that. But to answer the question, no, I did not choose my body or birth parents. I basically just go on Earth and see what happens, and like just trying, like, having a few targets I want to help, and where I end up, like, doesn't matter. So like for me, I did not really care about these things, but like that's the subject I haven't really looked into that far, because like for me, I don't really care about the details. It's like, okay, I know what I did before in my past lives and know my goals out there. I came here, I'm gonna do my goal by now, and I'm gonna go back. So like, to see, like, why did I come here on Earth and all these details and stuff like that, for me, like, it doesn't really matter, but I understand for some others, like, it might be an important thing. Okay, so I'm just like scrolling down. Shivita is asking Moai, like, Moai have red hats on? Like, I wonder 10 years ago I took pictures, so I will have to compare them. That'd be good. Like, I think, like, we can, like, look at the Easter Island, just to bring up the same topic. It's, let's see, nope. Bug. There we go. So, for example, if you look at the Easter Islands, you know, like, this is like what I remember them being, like, you know, like, just like that. And so, like, the new thing is going that they have hats on. Like, this is the new stuff. So, you know, kind of weirdish and all. Ernie is saying, did you read my email? Like, I've been waiting for you to do my session and for months. What's your email? A lot of times people write to me, but I don't get their emails. They either go to spam box and stuff. Like, the recent stuff, like, people are trying to get in contact. They're, like, trying to get in touch. And one of the things, there was an issue on the website where my email wasn't written correctly. So a lot of people were, like, writing elsewhere. So I fixed that. And then there's also, like, I'm finding people's emails either in the spam box or, like, not at all. So, like, if you're not getting anything from me, write me back. Nick, write me an email today. Direct me to your issue or something like that, like, so that I could, like, work on you. That would be really good. Reeve is asking, why would they be observing us? We're talking back about a topic where there are groups of beings who are just choosing to watch us and, let's say, control us and mess with us. So, like, we're talking about, like, you here as a person doing your own thing, and they might mess with your body, like, pull you and, like, make you, like, move in different ways, or, like, affect how you're, like, acting throughout life. And the question is, like, why is there someone else who's trying to, like, for someone else to affect you. Like, why are they even like observing us and stuff like that? The thing is, those beings are bored. Like, that's the worst part. Like, I can find a lot of groups out there who have did their own thing, and they're pretty much like a peaceful planet, like a kind of like utopian world where everyone shares everything. There's no conflicts, no wars, no politics and stuff like that. Like, yay! But those beings, after millions of years for living there, they get bored as hell, and they're looking for entertainment. And if you watched the movie Truman Show, I haven't, but I've sort of seen the concept, and like I was explaining how it all works. In the Truman Show, basically, it's all set up where the person, like Jim Carrey, is living under like a dome, and the whole life, everything is set up every single day, set up of what's gonna happen, and he's living this whole life believing that it's real until the point, like, hey, it's all set up, it's all sort of like dictated. Someone like wrote this for me, and he wants to get out to understand the world. We feel the same way, and basically, why are other beings observing us? Why are they messing with us? There are tons of beings who are bored, and they are doing that for entertainment. For them to turn on and watch a Truman Show, except you are the Truman right now, they can connect to you, they have their own like technologies, they like are advanced, and they're not into wars, they're not into engaging and fighting and like doing something big, but it's kind of like, hey, let's have fun. Like we're watching TV and we're watching some shows. Like, some people like watching these whines and videos where a person falls or like something happens, and we laugh at people failing, we laugh at people like getting hit or something like that, and oh, they're carrying a thing and everything falls off, ha ha ha, that was funny, and we're laughing at other people's like falls, or like how stupid can that be? Like, a person was driving a thing and fell into the fountain, or like there's this like a little video of a kid on a bicycle. He like looks at the left and sees this like truck with carriers of some girls, and like, ooh la la, and he hits the wall because he wasn't looking at it. Like, ha ha ha, how funny is that? So for us, we watch people's falls on all these things for entertainment, because like all of a sudden, because we're not experiencing it in our own life, watching someone else go through that, like, haha, that was funny, and we look at pets, we look at we look at people and stuff like that, like different people, different ideas, but we find our own entertainment. Like, while some people watch wines and other things, some people watch movies, some people like wars, some people like horror movies and stuff like that. So we go through these things, and we're entertained because we're able to watch TV. We're entertained because we can simulate that stuff. I can, for example, like, hey, I don't want to go in wars, but when I'm playing video games, playing the stuff where like, like, there's no engagement and no competition isn't always fun. So you want to like competition or stuff like that. Like, hey, you're playing a game and you're shooting some people and you're winning. Cool, yay, I won. And that's enough for entertainment. People out there are like, hey, we don't we don't war wars, we don't want other things, we just want to be entertained. So they choose a target, doesn't matter, sometimes it can be you, and they tune into you, and they're just like basically watching you, what you're doing, and you're like, this is gonna be fun. What if that person all of a sudden drops their phone, and you're like doing something, and oops, just slipped, and all of a sudden, a lot of these like clumsy accidents or little things like where you have no control of your body and you like feel like you're like twitched or being pulled on and stuff like that. There are beings who, out of boredom, are trying to entertain themselves with messing with us. And we have the whole planet, like millions of beings, like watching a show of Akvile, watching the show of Truman, watching the show of someone else. And they're messing with you, and you're like, why is my life like this? And then you look into like, hey, there's a bunch of beings entertaining themselves with fucking with you. And they're not killing you. But these little things that happen, like, like Murphy's Law, where you're like might go to a bathroom and oops, your phone slipped into the toilet and now you have to pull it out or something like that. Like, there's a lot of things that can happen. But a lot of these things that might seem silly for us on the internet, they do it for us, they do it to us, and like, oops, our life all of a sudden is like hell. So it's pretty much like entertainment. That's the worst part. Lashivita is asking, isn't also in families and friendships that stories from the past can or are being changed somehow in the mind so that conflicts or arguments happens more? I think it happens a lot. For example, one person sees the incident in one way, and like a few people were involved in like maybe a car crash or like in one of the arguments, and now you remember specific things people have said and experienced, and it sometimes passes, and then oops, we go back to this thing where we remember what they said and we talk about it, we bring it up, and all of a sudden you have two people, six different opinions, you know? So it's like we think of one thing, we think of another thing, and like, what if I don't remember it right? This is how I remember it and stuff like that. So our memories can be altered. There might be entities and other beings who will try to affect and like basically put things in your mind. And basically, you see the image or like how things happen, but they change the scenario, and all of a sudden you don't remember it the way you used to. So they can like put it in there to cause the argument, so that people would not agree, so that people would have like this like miscommunication and stuff like that. That can happen, and it's something to be aware of. It's something to be aware of, and you know, you can simply focus and like see if like, oh shit, like I feel like someone like altered my memories. Having that in mind and like sort of like just like allowing yourself to undo it is really important. Like you can undo it on yourself and like undo it for others, but it can totally happen. Like all of these like changes in memories and events that happen to like sort of like cause miscommunication or arguments between people totally happens a lot. Okay, so I'm just like back to slowly scrolling down and seeing what we have here. Ernig is also like to the same topic. He's asking like, can you just imagine them not watching you? You totally can. I think like the best thing, like if you are sort of becoming aware, like, hey, what if there's a group observing me and trying to make a Truman Show out of me? You see what's going on, and with that, just put an intention to communicate, saying like, hey, I know what you're doing. I know you're messing with me and having fun, but this hurts, and because I am a powerful being, I can stop you. And you know, you can give them a threat if you want, or you can just like have a conversation where you give them like options of like, how can I entertain you and stuff like that. You see what they do to you, and you basically offer them movies from the earth, video games and stuff like that, and like they might be like completely engaged in watching Lord of the Rings or Matrix and stuff like that, and they will be completely happy about it, like seeing something new. Like they might not have the movies we have here on earth, so offering something from here, just like in your own imagination, like so you can have this conversation or like a monologue to them and give them a message, give them a warning, making sure like, hey, you know, like I know what you're doing, I know you're playing around and you're like enjoying yourself, but this hurts. I don't like that, and I can stop it. I don't want to hurt you, but I want to make sure you stop messing with me and stop messing with my life. So, you know, like you give them a warning or you give them some other things to play with and stuff like that. So you can totally stop them just with thoughts and imagination. Eric is also asking like, can you visit other people in your astral body or out of body experience? Like definitely, you can definitely visit them. You can pull them out and talk to them and have lots of various experiences. So like it's totally possible. So I'm like slowly scrolling down the chat, seeing what people are talking about, and seeing if I can answer anything and give you more quality or anything. Uh, so Shivita is asking, do you know the movie The Butterfly Effect? I do, but I haven't watched it, but I've heard what it's about. And the other question is that some sort of an explanation for timelines? Like every little vibration can get you into different completely life, and do they overlap? Yeah, pretty much like that's the thing. There's a lot of like time wars going on, and the smallest thing they change, it affects our reality. So there's that. Every single thing we do can have like consequences, and we can sort of like be in charge and sort of program it, making sure, like, hey, you're aware of what's going on, and you make this programming for yourself. Like whatever happens doesn't affect others; it just affects this little reality, like only specific things. And so when we're talking about timelines and stuff, I would like pull up a tree, and you know how it all like have like roots of, like, for example, like, okay, birth moment, you just like come in and like, now you're here, but then it has branches and tons of leaves and stuff like that. So once it branches out, every single part is basically your simultaneous life, because like in this reality right now you're here in this moment. In the parallel reality, you might be driving a car, you might be sipping the tea, you might be drinking coffee, and there's going to be like tons of variations of what you're doing here. But basically, while you're here in this reality, there's going to be parallel universes where another you here in this life has a different sort of event, has some other actions, and while you might be, like experiencing like, like, hey, I'm drinking tea, the other part of me might be doing the same thing except drinking coffee or something else, and there's going to be like tons of variations of what you're doing. So changing something right here right now can affect what goes on and stuff like that. It's totally a thing. I'm reading the comment from Darius saying that he's been working hard on all his projects and exercising and other stuff, and it was kind of hard to keep up, so he sort of like gets the idea of how it is for me, and he calls me All Might. So All Might is basically one of my favorite characters, and I like that name. Thank you, buddy. Melina Murphy is asking, what music do I play in live streams? Um, hmm. So I have my own like little library here. It's like I'm on Streamlabs. I'm not sure. Well, maybe I can. I wonder if you'd be able to see what I'm seeing. Let's see. It's gonna be weird. Yeah. So you should be able to see. Like, this is gonna get crazy. Hello, people. So this is what you're seeing right now, right? And if I go, I assume you're seeing this. So when I go here on my like musics, this is the music I'm playing. If you want to look at the names and stuff, this is just like my usual playlist. But with Streamlabs, you can actually go into different stations, and for example, just the mood or like the genre, chill and epic and stuff like that. So the ones I like the most is ambient and synthwave. If they had electrowave and then like retrowave and stuff like that, I would pick that. But I have not explored that much throughout the stream on like what I'm doing and stuff. So while I'm here, I'm just sort of playing ambient and other stuff. But yeah, this is what my Streamlabs look like. So like I have your comments, and I can just slowly scrolling down and seeing what's going on and all this stuff. So like there's a lot of variations. I can like maybe copy the whole list, or you can take a screenshot and like just like have it all so that you could find it. There's like lots of nice soundtracks, and the good thing about like Streamlabs, they allow you to choose to play music that will not be copyrighted, or like YouTube will not attack you because of that. So yeah, Streamlabs is definitely better than OBS. It is kind of like the same, but depending on how you play with it, you can have more choices, more things, and it's more comfortable and stuff like that. So I used to use OBS, but I tried out Streamlabs because it did offer opportunity to stream on a few platforms at the same time. So I can stream on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and other places at the same time. I'm doing it like one thing at a time right now because I would like to do more research. But you can like definitely check it out. Like, it's totally worth it. Okay, so I'm Yahoo is asking, Akvile, do you think the silly human idea of worshipping and praying to gods is stupid and harms people in the long run, or does it have some validity to serve people? And would you recommend it? So personally, in the realms that I have been, in a lot of realms out there in the multiverse, they do not have gods or deities or someone they worship. They don't. So here on Earth, it is very artificial. It is like used here to more like control humanity, to control where people's attentions go. There's a lot of like factions behind it that are like trying to, okay, when people pray, when people like are focusing on certain things, their energy is being drained out and other things are happening, and they have more control, being able to access our stuff and all this stuff. So there's a lot to it. But some people really like the idea of worshiping someone. So it really depends on your own reality and on your own beliefs and different things. Personally, I would not choose it. Personally, the realms I have been to did not have gods or deities that they worshipped. They did not. It's not a thing there. Everyone is powerful. Everyone has their own life and beliefs, and they can share things or not. But it's not like you need someone to worship to get something. It's not like, oh God, please help me manifest this thing and stuff like that. And you can simply focus on this and like boom, and you manifest it. So it's more like, because this is more of control realm, because like 3D and this physical universe is more under the control. This whole worshipping is more harmful, because we're like looking at someone and we're asking from someone else to give us what we already have. To like, oh, give us this, do this and stuff like that. Like, you already have everything, and it's just like that kind of hope. It's easy to control people. It's easy to like give them a deity, say them like give them a story, and people love story. The story controls everything. It's like mainstream media tells you a story, and the more people believe that story, it's like the whole thing with just don't get me started. But story is everything. So we already are gods, and out there in the multiverse, no one worships us. There's no like not like people won't bend the knee and shit like that and they call you God and stuff like that. Like no, everyone is like that. This is the natural way. Here on Earth, it's kind of like reverse, and like we're trying to make us think like we're the peasants. We can't do shit, and we always like have some authority over us. And we need to pray and stuff like that. Like it's not a thing. Not in my reality. Not the way I see it. For some, it might be a thing. For some, they might like it, but at the same time, I'm not supporting it. So it's your own choice and like what was best for you. Some people need hope. Some people need that figure and stuff like that. Like not me. So again, your own choice. As is saying, look up Iceman. This guy walks freezing mountains in his boxers. And Wim Hof is awesome. I love the guy. Like I would like to work myself to the point where I can actually like go into the freezing water, stuff like that. That'd be fun. And maybe meeting Wim Hof and like doing this whole thing with him, like going to the mountains with the boxers and stuff. That would be fun too. Didi is asking, does anyone else experience what I think are radiation burns on their hands from using a smartphone for hours? Wow, that's an interesting thing. I don't use my phone that much, so I could not say. But others like that would be like an interesting thing to look into. As asking, Akvile, did you get the Cyberpunk 2077? I did not yet. I'm waiting on it. I think like what it comes out somewhere in December. I think like they postpone it, which is like totally fine. So like I'll wait. I'm not pre-ordering it, but we'll see. Christian is saying, can I post YouTube links here? Yes, feel free to do that. Matthew saying, Call of Duty Black Ops 1 dropped 10 years ago today. Crazy, I was 15 when I played that. Sure is crazy, huh? I remember being like, I don't know, like 5 years old. My brother was going to kindergarten school, and we had like Dragon Ball showing up on TV in the mornings, and I would love to wake up really early. I was still like at home. I wasn't going to kindergarten. I never went to this place, but man, I just like waking up with my brother super early in the morning so that I could watch the series would be awesome. As is also asking, like, have I played Ghost of Tsushima? No, not yet. I've been stalling on video games a lot. There's tons of stuff I haven't played, but I'm looking forward to it. So maybe one of these days. Starseed is asking how to fix long term possession and be the true self, because I'm aware this is happening to me, and these parasites I had since I came here are altering me to make me more like them, a soul merge and braid. So yeah, like with this thing for you, Starseed, I would basically be looking at let's see. You look at yourself and the aspects they're programming, like what you are, what you're experiencing, and stuff like that. And with this, I would look into, for example, if I was aware, like they're trying to possess me and they're trying to change who I am, I'm looking into personalities and what is changing in my life. How am I acting? Am I, let's say, getting the brain fog? Am I less aware of what's going on? Tons of chaos, losing my abilities and stuff like that. They're trying to put in this new personality and characteristics and stuff like that to you, or they themselves are basically pretty much just having an issue in between themselves. They might have one thing and they're like talking to each other, but you're the one picking it all up, and you assume that like it's just kind of like, hey, it's me and it's going on with me and not with them. So like it's kind of like causing this to yourself. But let's say it's the first scenario where they are messing with you and you're feeling like what they're doing to you. So with that, once you are aware of what exactly is it that they're changing? Is it like your personality that's changing? How are they affecting you? For example, like inability to do more things, inability to get out like the way you used to, inability to communicate with beings that you like you used to do before, brain fog or other things, like whatever issues you have. Is like take this as a personality or something like as your new character trait, as your new identity, and simply get rid of it. This is not you anymore. This is like the fake identity. So like if you have ever tried doing soul contract revocation process, there's the like command 12 where you're removing a lot of these like agreements and stuff, and like implants and imprints and stuff like that. There's like a part with identities and entities. So removing both of them, identities with who you are, like with the identity of having a brain fog, the identity of like not corresponding to things the way you used to, the identity of being poor and stuff like that. You look at things and see what's controlling your life, what's making it worse for you, and at the same time, entities that are causing the brain fog, entities that are causing you to be poor, entities that are causing you to be confused and stuff like that. You look at these things and you detach them, you destroy them, you get rid of them, and once that is done, don't leave the clear empty space. You look at that, okay, I just got rid of a lot of that stuff. Now, next step is to look into what would I like to have. And I would like to be clear thinking. I would like to have my own thoughts. I would have to, like, the control of what I'm thinking, what I'm aware of and stuff like that. So, like, you just, like, focus on those things, on the personalities that you would like to have. Imagine that being the another aspect of yourself. And simply either imagine it merging with you, or simply focus on like, okay, this is another part of me that has it, and so you fit with it, and now you're like just imagining like sort of downloading the characteristics, that traits, and that will work. Kame is saying, like, I think, like, regarding Gary Vee and stuff like that, like, give love to people, be the kindness, and accept losing and stuff like that is the best way for your soul. That's part of it. Also, the honesty is the best way to be free in your soul, Kame is saying. That's cool. It's good stuff. Dimitar is saying, I've been going into source perspective recently in out of body Akvile, like all the time, and the only thing I keep seeing is bilocation and how everything is a thought and choice. And that's totally a thing. It's pretty much everything, our own reality is everything we think up of and what we choose to be and do and see and experience. So like the whole creation is everything we focus on, everything we think of. What we experience is like basically our own thoughts. And that's crazy, but it's true. Zach is saying people involved in a deep state have their own ethical standard that goes something like, if someone is dumb enough to allow me to screw them over, it's not my fault, it's their fault. This is totally true. I've seen tons of groups out there in the multiverse who are like, like they're intelligent enough, and if they see us like we're not aware of it, we don't think about it and stuff like that, like we just go for their stuff, they don't give a fuck. It's like, oh well, you're dumb enough. It's like bunch of chickens going to vote for which guy is gonna kill them. It's like it doesn't matter if it's this person gonna cook you or this person. It's like the fate is the same, and like bunch of chickens are trying to decide. Like you're like, oh, this person is like this person is like that. Like no, they have the same goal. You are a chicken and you're gonna be their food, and it's not their fault if this chicken chooses to not run away from their cage and stuff like that. It's like the chicken is dumb enough, just gonna stay here. So whatever. So the way we look at animals sometimes when we eat them, if we eat them and stuff like that, like it's the same way some of the beings out there see us. Alright, people, so it's after midnight for me. It's like 20 minutes after midnight. I should wrap it up to get some rest and go on a new day and do more sessions and stuff. So for those that have not contacted me yet, if you have a session with me and you're not getting anything from me, like you got your session but you're getting no response and stuff like that, write me another email. If you're not getting my emails, write me on social media, because some emails are not coming through. I get a lot of emails, so I might not see you, notice you and stuff like that. So keep in mind, like if I'm not getting back to you, like pay attention and just like be pushy, try to spam me and stuff like that. I appreciate all of you coming here today. I'll get back to doing more streams. I've been like really productive lately, but I would like to see if I can bring in more value, answer more questions, and just like, hey, we have 56 people here. This is a massive community for me, and I like that all of you can come here, share your own thoughts, share your ideas, and exchange, your beliefs and stuff like that. Like, just coming together, like-minded people. I learn something from you, you learn something from others, and that's like pretty cool. So, that being said, I appreciate all of you being here, watching me, and I'll be seeing you soon. Do I read long emails? Yes, I do. Like, I have emails, like, when people, like, write me, like, people send me PDF of, like, 10 pages of, like, Times New Romans, like, and the font is, like, the size of 12, and they have, like, 10 pages, so, like, I definitely read through that, which is why, like, I have, like, lots of emails, like, I love when people get to talk it out, you can write me if you just like, you don't necessarily need to have a session with me if you just want to talk to me. Write me if you want anything, if you just want to talk, if you just want to share your thoughts and beliefs and other things. So I'm glad that you're here. And hey, I'll be doing more streams, so just be sure to have your questions ready or just like spam me with emails and stuff like that. I'm always here for you. And hey, it's been my pleasure being here, answering your questions, being here for you, and seeing such an awesome community. I love you all. I hope you have a great day. Remember that you are a super awesome being. You're powerful, you're strong, you're confident, you can do everything. Do not allow the surrounding world affect how you feel. It's gonna be hard, but you're an awesome being. So I just wanted to empower you if I can. CJ, no, like you don't have to keep it short. I like engaging with people, and if you're telling me a long story, I'm totally fine with that. So like, do what's best for you. If you like long emails and if you want to talk it out, write me a long one. If you feel like you just like want to keep it short, write me a short one. But I can totally get back to you like however much you write to me. Also, like I have a question like, what's my email? It's Akvile Sava, so like my YouTube, Akvile Sava, basically at yahoo.com. Akvile Sava at yahoo.com. And at the same time, under most of my videos, you can see in description, you can just click description. I have my links from social media and emails and stuff like that. So if I'm not saying it like right and stuff like that, you can totally check it out on my description and see all the info. But anyway, that being said, you have an awesome day. Take care of yourself. I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. And hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.